Hey guys, so the Dragon Ball Legends 7th anniversary is now just about 2 weeks away, and so I wanted to talk about some Zenkai awakenings we could potentially see during the 7th anniversary. Now, of course, as of right now, we only have like one-ish hint in terms of the theme for the anniversary. The most recent free-to-play character is the Angel Golden Frieza from the Tournament of Power. Specifically, it is the Frieza that fights against Dispo with Gohan. So imagining that part 1 probably will have something to do with the Tournament of Power. Very, very highly likely we get a new Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku. But that is all we really have anything to go by right now. Obviously, as we get closer to the anniversary, we get hints, we get new events coming out, probably going to give us more of an insight into what we can expect to see during the anniversary, and that will shed more light on what sort of Zenkais we can see. But as of right now, this is just going to be essentially a speculatory video. I think the best way to do this is to just first go back and look at last year's anniversary structure, just so that we can see exactly when we should expect to see some Zenkai awakening. So last year, I actually have the 2023 calendar pulled up as well, because I do want to just briefly talk about the 5th year anniversary as well as the 6th anniversary. And the reason why is because I think there's actually not a very good way of predicting when we can see Zenkais. And the reason is, I'll explain in a second. So we'll start with the 6th anniversary. So for the 6th anniversary, we actually got 3 LF Zenkai awakenings and 1% Zenkai awakening. On May 29th, right here, so the anniversary, the 6th anniversary started on the 25th of May, which is actually very similar to this year. The anniversary we know is starting on the 24th. So very, very similar date of the start of the anniversary. We got LF Dragon Ball Super Broly's Zenkai Awakening on the 29th. So literally the anniversary started here. We got Fusing Super Vegito and Fusing Gogeta Blue here. And then just like 4 days later, we got the Zenkai for the LF Dragon Ball Super Broly. And then just 1 week after that, on June 4th, I think. No, sorry, June 5th. June 5th here is when we got the Zenkai Awakening for the Corrupted Fusion Zamasu. So we got the anniversary started. 4 days later, we got Zenkai for LF Dragon Ball Super Broly. A week later, we got the Zenkai Awakening for LF Corrupted Fusion Zamasu. So just a lot of stuff going on right away. It's really why I think the 6th anniversary felt like the best one so far. So that happened very, very early on. And then on June 26th, so we had the part 2 characters drop in between here. And then on the 26th, we did have the Zenkai for LF Blue Kid Buu. And then a week after that, in July, actually dropped on a Friday, we got the Zenkai 1% character. It was the GT Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Got his Zenkai here, and that was clearly to set up for Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Still kind of a bit of a confusing pick. I don't know why they went with that GT Goku, but sure. A GT theme, GT related, it is what it is. So that was what happened during the 6th anniversary. However, if we take a look at the 5th anniversary, we only got 2 LF Zenkais during the 5th anniversary, and that really was it. So the 5th anniversary started on June 24th, or sorry, not June 24th, it was May 27th, the anniversary started. We didn't get our first Zenkai in this anniversary until June 14th. This was when LF Purple UI Sign Goku got his Zenkai Awakening. So we had to wait like half a month more to get our first Zenkai into the 5th anniversary. And then the second Zenkai was on June 5th over here. We ended up getting the second LF Zenkai Awakening for Sword of Hope Trunks. So 2 years in a row, we have gotten LF character Zenkai Awakenings on July 5th. On July 5th. July 5th is kind of, I guess, a pretty consistent spot for Zenkai Awakenings for the anniversary. So this is really the only spot that I can really see a pretty high chance of getting a Zenkai Awakening. But in terms of the other slots, like it really is just going to be up in the air. But I think the best way to do this is just assume that things are going to move similarly to how they did last year with the 6th anniversary. So I think the 3 most likely spots we are going to see Zenkai Awakenings is the 28th of May. So the anniversary will start here the 24th. We have the reveals on the 23rd. The 28th of May probably will be our first LF character getting a Zenkai Awakening. Then we move into June. I think June 4th is another day we can expect to see something. And then potentially on June 25th as well over here is another date. And then on July, so July, if we were to like, I guess it would be Would it be the 4th? Let me just see. So if we go back here, July 5th in 2023 was a Wednesday. And then July 5th was a Friday for GT Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Yeah, I guess I'd just say the 4th or the 2nd. One of these 2 days would be like the final Zenkai. If they wanted to do another 1% character, I guess it would sort of have to tie into whatever we have for part 3 there. But the reason why I wanted to compare the 5th anniversary to the 6th anniversary is because there wasn't really much cohesion between the scheduling for these two, right? So if we were going to be predicting the 6th anniversary Zenkai Awakenings and we looked at the 5th anniversary schedule, we pretty much get it all wrong. So I don't want to say like, oh, we're going to get everything that's the same as the 6th anniversary in terms of the scheduling, because it's not what happened last year. So, but anyway, I do think, last year we got 3 LF Zenkais and 1% Zenkai during the anniversary. I think it's probably going to be something similar to that. Don't know if we're going to get a 1% Zenkai. We might, but I think it's pretty fair to go into the 7th anniversary expecting 3 LF Zenkais potentially. So let's go ahead and take a look at the roster here. So these are all the LF characters in the game. I can filter by Zenkai to non-Zenkai. Obviously, we want to look at the non-Zenkai characters so that we can have a good listing here of the characters that I think have at least a shot of being Zenkai Awakened. Now, this is in order in terms of releases. And we can see that on the bottom here, the oldest character, the oldest LF character to not have a Zenkai. Oh, actually, this is not in order because Cooler came out before Beast, but it's roughly in order, I guess is what I would say. LF Future Gohan is the oldest Legends Limited character to not have a Zenkai Awakening, and he is very old. This guy is almost as old as the yellow-blue Gogeta, who just got a Zenkai Awakening at the beginning of this year in January. This guy at any point can get one. Future Gohan, I think, is a character who is popular enough to definitely be worthy of getting a Zenkai during the anniversary. Like Blue Kid Buu getting one, I think this guy is certainly at least on that level of hype. So this guy definitely is on the table. This is actually an anniversary character, the Revival Gohan. He is certainly on the table as well. But if you guys look back at the 6th anniversary, all of the characters that we got Zenkai Awakenings for fit the theme of the anniversary, except for Fusion Zamasu, right? Fusion Zamasu, he didn't really fit the theme entirely. The only thing you can really link Fusion Zamasu to, I guess, is God Goku being God Key, and I guess the same thing with fusing Gogeta Blue. LF Fusion Zamasu was kind of like an outlier Zenkai because he didn't fit into the theme, right? There wasn't like a future theme going on with the anniversary last year. I think it was just the fact that he was a anniversary character, right? Fusion Zamasu was a 3rd anniversary part 1 headlining character next to Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. So just because of that, I think even if we don't have some sort of like movies theme or BoJack theme going on, this guy could still get a Zenkai because he was an anniversary character. So no matter what the theme is, I think we could see this guy getting one. The tag androids, I don't... they're a little bit weird because they have had multiple chances to Zenkai this character this year where it would have made sense thematically, right? We had basically the perfect chance was when I think Future Gohan and Trunks came out. These guys are basically just the villains that they fought, right? Future Gohan and Trunks fought the androids in the future, and these are the future versions of 17 and 18. It seemed to me like it was like the perfect chance for them to get a Zenkai Awakening, but they did not do that. And that does seem a little bit suspicious to me, but I don't know if they're going to be doing that because they were saving it for the 7th anniversary or what the reasoning for that was, but I don't know. It would be kind of strange if they actually got one now because they're more or less the same character as Ultra Cell. So maybe they're going to hold on to these guys for a little bit longer. I would probably say I wouldn't have these guys up high on the list of my options for Zenkaiing during the anniversary, but they're here, I guess. UI Goku. I think it is very highly likely we get a new version of this character. And when you look at a lot of the like big super SSS plus tier hype level characters, they typically don't get Zenkai Awakenings at the same time or very close in proximity to when we get a new version of the same character. So like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, the green one, gets a Zenkai. We can actually just turn this on for a second. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta gets a Zenkai in January of 2024. We don't get the Ultra one until July of that year, right? So we actually had a little bit of time to use this character with the Zenkai before the new one dropped. This guy got his Zenkai during the 5th anniversary. we didn't get a new version of this guy until the end of the same year, right? When he dropped as an Ultra at the end of the year, UI Sign Goku. And that's basically the same thing they've done for all these characters. Super Vegito got a Zenkai during Legends Fest 2021. We did not get a new Super Vegito character during that celebration. Vegito Blue got his Zenkai Awakening during the 4th anniversary. We did not get a new Vegito Blue during that anniversary. So yeah, you can just, connect the dots there. They've never done that before. So if we are going to be getting a new Ultra Instinct Goku, Master Ultra Instinct Goku during the 7th anniversary, I don't think they actually would Zenkai this guy. This guy kind of feels more like a Legends Fest Zenkai Awakening. Like we get a new Ultra Instinct Goku during the 7th anniversary, and then in Legends Fest this year, at the end of the year, then they could Zenkai this guy later. I think is probably what's going to happen, but we'll see. Beast Gohan, again, he fits into the same, I think, level of hype as UI Sign Goku does. If we get a new Beast Gohan during the 7th anniversary, then I don't see it happening. Do I think we're going to get a new Beast Gohan during the 7th anniversary? I think it's possible, but I don't think it's super highly likely. We kind of just got one, the Ultra. I would actually have this guy relatively high up on my list of possibilities for Zenkai Awakenings during the anniversary. If we don't get a new Beast Gohan, they could give us, we don't have a standalone Orange Piccolo. Like, what if for like one of the part 2 characters, they drop a standalone Orange Piccolo and then they Zenkai Awaken Blue Beast Gohan? This guy getting a Zenkai would be insane. People would go crazy over this. This is definitely an anniversary worthy character to get a Zenkai Awaken. I could see it happening. Definitely not for Cooler, I guess. Well, I don't want to say definitely not, but it's going to depend on, I think, what they do for part 2. Like, I don't see a part 1, I don't know, like, what would it be? Part 1... something from a movie or a Z movie. I don't think it's super high. Like, it's not off the table, but it's probably not super high up here. Tag 4s certainly are worthy as well. I think they are a Legends Fest character, but as we saw with Purple UI Sign Goku, they've Zenkai'd big ticket Legends Fest, Legends Limited characters during anniversaries before. So if we end up getting, for example, a full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku that did the Dragon Fist versus Omega Shenron as like a part 2 LF character, I would 100% expect this character to get a Zenkai. They're old enough for sure to warrant one, and I think this could be a really exciting pick for a Zenkai. I actually think out of all the characters we talked about so far, I think this Revival Gohan, Beast Gohan, and then the Tag Force probably are at the top of my list for Legends Limited Zenkais. There is one character I think I expect even more than these guys to get one, though, and it is assuming that we do end up getting a new Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku, and I think Revival UI Sign Goku is certainly on the table for a Zenkai. I've seen a lot of people saying they want this character to get a Zenkai before the anniversary. Typically what they do, we saw this last year going into the 6th anniversary, we got a Zenkai Awakening for the red Super Saiyan 3 Goku, just a 1% sparking Zenkai. I think next week, most likely what we'll see is a 1% character getting a Zenkai Awakening, and potentially also on top of that, a unique equipment for a Legends Limited character. But this guy I think would make for a really cool Zenkai to pair alongside a new Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku. It's not the same exact character, right? It's still UI Goku, but it's UI Sign Goku. Just having a Revival character available for your team is going to be very, very powerful. I think Universe Reps is in a position to where they kind of need a bunch of help, right? We really haven't gotten Universe Rep buffs since 2023. We went the entirety of 2024 without them really doing anything for the team because they really pushed that team a lot during the prior year. So I think if they really want to push this team and they give us a new UI Goku and he's designed to be ran on Universe Reps, they're going to need to give him some help. So this guy getting a Zenkai could be something. This character, I don't want to put this character at 0%. I think there is a chance. There is certainly a chance they could get one, but it's not going to be super high. This would be like a shock announcement, I think. A Goku and Frieza Zenkai Awakening. I more so see this character getting a unique equipment than a Zenkai. But this is like, okay, they have the announcement for the part 1 characters, and then they do, the standard, whatever like hype way they have of announcing the characters. We had like the orchestra for UI Sign Goku. We had like the dancing guys for part 1 of the 6th anniversary. I could see them doing all that, and then the fake out is announcing this character Zenkai. Like, instead of them faking us out for like a second character coming out, they could fake us out announcing the Zenkai for Goku and Frieza. I could see that happening potentially. That would be such a shock announcement. But do I think it's super highly likely? Probably not. Probably not. One other character I also do want to highlight actually is going to be Pikkon. This Pikkon slash Gogeta character, I think there's a very high chance at some point in this celebration we could see a new version of Super Gogeta. I think a lot of people are expecting a Synchro Gauge fusing Super Gogeta, right? We have not seen the Synchro Gauge used in 12 months, right? The last characters to get the Synchro Gauges were the Part 1 characters for the 6th anniversary. That's it. They've never revisited that mechanic. Obviously, I think a lot of the reason for that is because it takes a long time to prepare and design the characters. There's a lot that goes into those characters. But for the anniversary here, a fusing Super Gogeta, this character obviously thematically would pair up very well with them. This character really hasn't aged the greatest. It's kind of unfortunate, but they could be a pretty interesting Zenkai Awakening there. But if I had to pick like my top 5 candidates for the 7th anniversary LF characters who were going to get a Zenkai Awakening, I'd put Revival UI Sign on the list. I'd put Revival BoJack Movie Gohan on the list. I'd put Blue Beast Gohan on the list. I'd put the Tag 4s on the list. And I'd probably put Future Gohan on there as well, just because of how old he is and how iconic he is in the history of this game. For people who were playing the game back when this guy dropped, this guy legitimately was relevant for like 2 years after he dropped. This guy had, next to like Blue 17, one of the longest reigns of dominance in the history of this game. And yeah, a lot of people have experience fighting against him and using him, and he's just a very iconic character in the history of the game. So those would be my 5 picks here. I think probably 3 LF characters potentially could be getting a Zenkai Awakening during this anniversary like we saw last year. There is one more character I do want to point out. It is not an LF character. It's an Ultra. I think we could finally see the start of the free-to-play Ultra characters getting Zenkai Awakenings. This guy probably going to be, I mean, for the anniversary, if they're going to start it really makes the most sense for it to be this character, the Ultra Namek Goku. There is I really think there is a chance they do this. I do think so. This could potentially be a thing that they do only during major celebrations, Zenkai for Ultra characters, but we only have 3 free-to-play Ultras, Goku, Vegeta, and Omega Shenron. They could start by doing this character, and then they might, you know, once we get to Legends Fest, then they could do Vegeta, and then maybe next year we do Omega. But eventually, they like giving these platinum equipments to the Ultra characters. Eventually, they're probably going to Zenkai Ultra characters, summonable Ultra characters. I think the way they start this, though, is at some point, we're going to need to Zenkai this character, right? At some point, it really starts to be a little bit strange that, oh, there's this character designated as being an Ultra, which is the highest rarity, and he's like not even, like he doesn't even stand up to like free-to-play Sparkings anymore, right? That's how old this character is. I think they should do this. I don't know if now is the right time for it, but I'm just going to put this out there that I think it's possible this guy gets a Zenkai during the anniversary. And I'm probably going to be saying, if it doesn't happen now, I'm probably going to be saying the same thing during Legends Fest. There's a possibility this guy gets a Zenkai Awakening. I mean, at some point I think it's going to happen, but I just don't know when that timing's going to be. But so yeah, that is going to wrap up, I think, the discussion here on Zenkais. Let me know down below what character you would want to see get a Zenkai Awakening. I think there's a lot of potential options here. What else do we even have here? I don't think really like Blue Kaioken Goku and Evolution Blue Vegeta definitely I don't think are ready yet. Definitely not Goku and Bardock, not Purple Cell. Orange Piccolo, I would say probably not, but you know, I don't think he's like off the table. Vegeta and Trunks, maybe. I don't think this guy will just because he just got an equipment, but let me know what you guys think. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.